Ahoy and welcome to this Narrowboat adventure. So this is going to be one of two videos I'm making about the coronavirus. I'm making this video now talking about what I have as my current experience, what are my expectations as a boater, how this is going to affect the YouTube channel, and I'm going to make another video at the end of all of this with clips from my exciting life in quarantine. But I don't think anybody in quarantine is going to be wanting to watch videos about other people in quarantine, so I'm going to make videos that are not about quarantining during this time as much as I can. So I'm going to make this video, run everything down for you, and then I will have another video when this is all over, and that's it. So let's talk about it. Sorry if that was a bit loud. So my current experience, I'm in my boat, I'm in central London. I know 2 or 3 people who have definitely got coronavirus. Actually, definitely at least 3 people who've definitely got coronavirus. I also know a lot of people who I have seen in person recently who have somebody in their office who's had the virus, and I've been on public transport. So personally, I could very well be a carrier at this moment in time. We won't know for another 2 weeks, so I am quarantining. I recommend everybody to be quarantining because at this point, I think there's probably so many people who are carriers that it's very unlikely that you haven't come in contact with one of them, and I'm quite worried. There's a lot of people who are still out and about and not really observing the rules of the quarantine, which puts all of us at risk. So I think the most socially responsible thing to do is to remain at home, or if you're a key worker, remain at work. So the other thing I wanted to mention is that I do have friends in other countries, and it's kind of made me really super aware of what this could turn into. So I've got one friend who's in Vietnam who's doing really well at the moment, but is in quarantine. But overall, Vietnam is doing well in terms of the quarantine because people have observed the rules of the quarantine and they've been really on it. And they're doing really well, and I think they only had like 60 overall cases. And I have another friend in Spain. They're on complete lockdown. They're very serious about it there, and I think that's really what we ought to be doing. As I say, that's my opinion based on my experiences. But yes, I guess this first part of the video was just a big excuse for me to tell you that I really want you to stay inside. It's really important, even if you're not the kind of person that is going to die from this, you're probably going to come in contact with people who will. And let's do the next section of the video, boating. So obviously being in quarantine is going to be slightly different for boaters than it is for everyone else. So I thought it might be interesting to do a rundown of what my concerns are in terms of being a boater and being on quarantine. So I guess the number one thing that I'm kind of worried about is power. So we have 12 volts and solar. So in terms of power, we are okay for most things, but I'm not going to have power to charge my laptop at the boat, so that's going to be a little bit difficult in terms of my university work and in terms of my editing videos. I'll get onto that in a bit about the videos, but it also affects things for us because with only having 12 volts we don't generally use our fridge, which then affects how much shopping we can do. So obviously in an ideal world I'd do a weekly shop and I'd get loads of fruit and veg and all that kind of thing, but normally what we do here is we go shopping every couple of days because we need to get fresh stuff because we can't keep it more than a couple of days. That really isn't possible now, so we are relying more heavily on vegetables and on tinned food, like long life vegetables I mean, and then things like pastas and grains and pulses and things like that. The other worry I have is if we are put on full lockdown, how is that going to affect our ability to empty our toilets, do our laundry, fill our water tank, that kind of thing. At the moment the CRT aren't asking people not to move. We still have to move unless it is like you're on self-isolation because you have the virus. So it's they're doing it more on a person by person basis rather than an overarching rule. So that is a little bit worrying because it means people from London are leaving London on their boats. But it also means that we can't necessarily stay where we are, which is in quite a good position between an Elsan and some water. So that's something that's been on my mind a little. And the other thing, of course, is that it's still not that warm and we haven't got very much coal. Will I be able to buy coal? I don't know. Will I be able to buy fuel for my boat? I don't know whether or not the fuel boats are still running. We haven't seen them in a little while. So hopefully one of them will come round soon, but if not, that could be quite a big concern as a boater. Third part of the video. So the videos, my channel, that is going to probably be affected. I'm planning to do a weekly live stream at 2 o'clock on a Wednesday. I've tried to time it so that it could be lunchtime for those working at home in the UK, but maybe an early morning video over breakfast for those in America. I'm sorry if this isn't quite right for your particular country, but I've done my best. So I hopefully am going to be able to continue to charge my laptop. I do some voluntary work that at the moment is being treated as key worker work. So I should be able to charge my laptop there to be able to edit videos. I know some of you don't like live streams, so there will also be normal videos as usual. But yeah, as I say, it's going to depend very much on whether or not I'm allowed to continue my volunteer work. Some of the live streams I'm going to do are not going to be me, but my gorgeous partner Seb, who is going to do some guitar music for you, like you've seen on previous videos, probably at the beginning of this video and at every other video you've seen of me, or during the moving videos you'll have heard some gorgeous guitar music. So Seb's going to do some live concerts for you. He's actually releasing a sort of demo soundtrack of all the stuff that I normally use, and that's coming out on Monday, so I think either the day this video comes out or the day after, and you'll be able to find it on iTunes, Spotify, Apple Music. Search Sebastian Goodwin Day and it will be called This Narrowboat Adventure Soundtrack. Is that right?
Something like that, yeah.
Something like that. Okay, thank you so much for watching. Take care and do please join us on Wednesday on the live show. Bye!